If you're a financial advisor or a sales agent or any business owner that's looking to promote your business, and you feel stuck doing everything yourself when it comes to marketing, you feel like you're creating content and trying to plan out distribution, editing, optimization, and you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and burnt out, not getting results, well, this episode is going to be for you. Did you know that most high output firms aren't hiring more people? They're building smarter with automation, AI, and virtual employees, creating hybrid teams powered by technology. Have you ever felt like you're constantly working and it seems like a treadmill and you can't seem to scale any further because of the limitations of time? Well, you're going to want to join us. Stick around until the very end. I've got a free Smart Team Starter Kit and some custom GPTs that we've built that we're going to be giving away. And so you're going to want to stick around to the end. So sit back, relax, and dive into this week's episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly.
Welcome to the Digital Advisor Weekly broadcast. Looking to boost your business with the latest trends, innovative tech, and must-have resources? Join us to discover how to successfully scale your practice and automate the process. Here to guide you is your host, the dynamic leader of Advisor Marketing Hub and managing partner at American Financial, Rob Sousa.
Hey everyone, Rob Sousa here. Another episode of the Digital Advisor Weekly. Let's quickly recap the last 3 weeks because we've been focusing on this topic for almost a month now, and we want to make sure that if you missed something in the previous episodes, you can go back and you can rewatch those. But we started with breaking down how to create more content from regular client conversations. The following week, we did using interviews and create more visibility from the interviews. We talked about all the different types of interviews that you can do, just like what you will see in the future-proofed channel. And it's important that you take advantage of every moment that you could possibly be on camera with activities that you're already doing. And last week, we showed you how to turn long form content into a month's worth of social media posts with very little time investment on your part as well. And this week, well, we're going to be answering the question, how do I keep scaling without doing all of it myself? And how do I avoid burnout? Well, we're going to do it by building a tech-powered team, VAs, automation, and AI employees. That's what we're talking about today. Before we jump in, I just want to share really quickly. Last year, I met a sales rep at the Future Proof Festival in Huntington Beach. It was on the beach. It was epic. It was huge. Met a ton of great people. And one of the people I met was a gal who was an actual presenter, and she's an incredible communicator, great storyteller, and she talked about or was teaching social media and how to create content. And she does all her own social media, and she loves doing interviews. She loves speaking, but the downside, she was doing it all herself. She was doing the editing, the posting, follow-ups without any use of AI. And it's probably because she's a bit of a purist, a little skeptical about AI, which I get. But later we were able to sit down and have a conversation. And after talking to her privately, she confessed that her biggest struggle is she's struggling with burnout and running out of time, and that it's limiting her ability to scale her business. So I challenge her to give us an opportunity to let us build a lean, modern team, 2 VAs, 5 automations, and 1 AI tool. And within 2 weeks of testing this new system, her content doubled and her hours invested dropped in half, which now gives her the ability to scale and increase her visibility. So To this day, she jokes around with me that we gave her a twofer. I'm like, what is a twofer? She said, well, you gave me 2 times the visibility and I spent 2 times less investing into making it happen. I said, okay, I'll take it. And today I'm going to show you how to build that kind of team, fast, affordable, and hopefully burnout proof.
AI is changing marketing forever. I believe there will be 2 groups of AI marketers. The first type will use AI to save time. This group of people will use tools and templates to be more time efficient and generating ideas, copy, and visuals. The second group of people will use AI to generate and create. These are the types of marketers that use their own ideas in conjunction with AI to create something new. They're also savvy when it comes to how to use AI as a means to birth innovation. This is the type of marketer that would use the second, more strategic prompt. They're going to be really leveraging the generative aspect of AI to generate newness.
Time is always going to be a sales rep and business owner's biggest challenge. Doing everything themselves, from scripts to editing to follow-ups. Less time that's left over for them to do the most important part of their business, which is spending time with their clients, serving their clients, and performing the one thing they got into their business for, and that is service delivery. And so if that's the most important part of their business, then we've got to figure out how to limit the amount of time that they're spending trying to increase visibility or social media. And then burnout from trying to be everywhere all the time. So why do entrepreneurs keep trying to do it themselves? If that's the constant theme and frustration, well, I think it comes down to fear, and it's usually the fear of letting go and delegating and not knowing where to start. But here's the part that I want to encourage you with. The new access to artificial intelligence, you can now create guardrails that are super intelligent, and in many cases much more intelligent than we are. And so you can ask AI to create standard operating procedures. You can create a customized ChatGPT for creating authentic content that is authentic to your tone, your business offerings, the way that you explain things. So AI gives delegation the ability and structure and guardrails to be able to make sure that you can delegate and control the output. Okay, so Sandra from Miami, what's the easiest way to start handing off tasks to a VA or GPT? Okay, and so that's kind of going right back. It was perfect timing, going right back to what I said, creating custom GPTs that have SOPs or standard operating procedures built into them that control the output of the content or the task, so that every time the virtual assistant is trying to prompt a GPT, a customized GPT for a particular project, you've set the guardrails and expectations to make sure that you get the authentic result that you're looking for. So thank you, Sandra. All right. So we talked about fear being the biggest challenge. Before we continue, I just want to ask everybody who's here, how many hours a week are you spending on tasks that don't need to be done by you? It could be done by a VA or a AI employee. And I want you to think about it. How many hours a week are you spending in tasks that could be delegated if it were delegated properly and you were able to get a similar result? Put that down in the comments for us. We'd like to know. Feedback is always the best about live casting, is because we get real-time feedback from you, the viewer, so that you get the answers, solutions, and results that you're looking for. All right, let that question sink in. Now, here's a quick video to help you spot exactly which tasks you can start automating with AI.
Do you ever feel like you're drowning in repetitive tasks? Imagine handing off that annoying weekly report. Hi, I'm Eddie. I help people see what they can automate, and then I build it with them. Think about your week. What's one task that you never look forward to? It might be emails, spreadsheets, or the never-ending reports. These are the best candidates for automation, saving you hours. Find the task that's really time-consuming and also repeats a lot. Once you find it, AI can take over and help free up your schedule. Drop a comment if you're dealing with this too.
And that's exactly what we wanted you to do. Drop a comment. How much time are you spending? And think about what tasks that you could delegate either to a VA or AI. Put that in the chat for our feedback, and we're going to be able to push that back out and help people understand and give them more ideas about how they can automate. All right. So how do we fix this? Well, we're going to show you future-proof content team that has 3 core parts built into the system. And we built this for our clients. We're sharing it with you because we want to help you do it. Get started and do it yourself. So we're going to give you everything you need. The first part is going to be your virtual assistants, right? They can handle inbox, triage, content slicing, posting, cutting, clipping, perfecting, and then being a VA, we typically go overseas, and so that you get better quality. With AI combined with your VA, you're going to get better quality because you're controlling the process, but it's also going to be more cost effective for you as well. And the combination of virtual assistants and artificial intelligence has been a total game changer, because before, without artificial intelligence, then the VA was in another country trying to help you create content that really only you can create, because they're not inside your head and know how you're going to answer things, how you're going to present things, and what content you would create. All right, so which leads into number 2, automation. Okay, so automation is the ability to automate the process. Again, that's guardrails, but automating it, whether you're automating it from a capture and lead nurture, which is those splash pages, sales pages, squeeze pages, and capture leads, process them, automate the follow-ups, automate the delivery. All of that can be done through automating a process that's just repeatable. So you got to really sit down and think and brainstorm, what are all the tasks I can think of that are repeat tasks, repeat answers, repeat solutions? All of them can be fully automated. It can run on multiple channels. We can integrate your Gmail inbox with your calendar, with scheduling, follow-up emails. You can connect just about any platform. If you have the right technology, you can connect to any platform. You could have a actual document created or a survey created all by automation, and then results can come out and deliver a particular resource based on the answers that your prospects answered in the form, and then AI can, or automation can, identify which topic they're interested in, deliver that specific resource. It's mind-blowing and unlimited in the possibilities of what you can do to automate your business. Even welcome series of welcoming people to becoming a client and what they can expect, check-ins throughout the year, reviews, birthdays, holiday, all of that can be automated. And I encourage you that if you do it, the more that you automate, it's a one-time investment, and it's going to save you time every single week for the rest of your business. And it honestly can replace one tool that we use, can replace, and I'm going to go on Friday, I'm going to talk about in our Masterclass. If you'd like to attend, feel free to put that in the comments, and we'll make sure we give you a specific invite. But we're going to go over exactly the tools that we use so that you can scale back the tools that you're paying for to do all of this automation and AI resources. All right, and which is number 3, AI. And now it's not just AI, it's AI employees. And what do I mean by like ChatGPT for content versus AI employee? And don't worry to all the virtual assistants who are joining us today. The AI employee can't replace the human element to the process. It's the human element that makes it authentic and ensures that the brand stays authentic to the business owner. So with AI employees, though, they're more interactive, kind of what I was talking about before. Based on certain answers to certain questions, the AI will develop answers and solutions on the fly as you go, and can deliver dynamic actions or automations or content based on what you've set up. Now, we've built a bunch of these, and we're going to make those available to you as well. Okay. Now, so let's go ahead and we're going to, well, I'm going to skip this just for the sake of time. So we're talking about delegation, and that's probably the biggest challenge. Most advisors don't, most sales agents, they're afraid to delegate. Trust me, we can show you how that delegation using both elements that we talked about with AI and virtual assistants can be perfected to produce content, not only that's 100% authentic. If we do it well enough, it can be better than 100%. Why? Because AI has access to the entire internet, and it's more accurate than any single advisor. And I know that because in the Future Proof Festival, they had two of the top nation's best financial advisors on stage, and then they had an AI employee on stage, AI advisor on stage. And you know who knew more, was able to answer more accurately questions and give more accurate recommendations? The AI. Now, this isn't just regular AI. This was a custom GPT that was built, pre-programmed by one of the nation's best advisors, but it outperformed. Why? Because it can think faster, research faster, and give you answers quicker and more accurately than any human advisor can do. Now, still missing the human element, so that's part of the team, and we're going to go over that process with you in just a second. Now, since we talked about the core parts of future-proofing your content, let's share a short highlight from a recent interview that I did with the Future Proofed podcast with Brent Mueller, and I shared how the automation system we've built in our software, BetterAutomate, or Go High Level, is helping advisors and sales agents scale much quicker with less time, cutting out the busy work, and help grow your confidence because you're spending more time serving your clients.
The key, and what I want to dive into with you, Rob, is the automation piece. Can you kind of explain to, especially if there's advisors out there that are watching this that aren't working with you yet, but explain how automation is changing the game, because I don't think everybody understands that.
No, and I think back to kind of our most recent deployment. There are features in our software, BetterAutomate, which is built on a Go High Level platform. It's an agency platform, just allowing us to clone things and then rebrand them for our clients on a faster scale. And we don't pretend to try and hide what we're doing. This is, advisors don't, or at least our clients don't want to be doing this themselves. They want to hire us to do it. And the idea of automation is, how do you connect systems in place to eliminate the ability to have to manually do things that advisors know they should be doing? They know that it would benefit them, but they get busy and these things get dropped. If you don't make that investment now, the people who do are going to become more relevant than you at a faster pace than we've ever seen in the history of this country. It's going to happen so fast, you're going to blink and say, why did I not get on board? And now I'm treading water in the deep end and can't keep my head above water.
Yes.
And that is true. But I want to encourage you, this video today is to help you be able to implement these things yourself, giving you the resources, tools, and knowledge. We're not selling our service. We're on wait list right now. So this is not a promotion for our service. We're trying to help equip you to be able to replicate this process yourself and give you everything you need. So let's talk about the system that we've developed to scale your business and save you time, right? So we call it the scalable visibility loop, and that's a mouthful. But really simply put, we base everything we do, for simplicity's sake, we start with a long form video or podcast. So we come up with we work with the client, come up with a topic for the week, use ChatGPT Pro that's got your own customized persona in it, and come up with a topic that's relevant to and timely to today's trending news. And then from that long form content, so we're going to then create all the other content that you need for the next week. So we're talking emails, blog posts, articles, press releases, all your social media posts, video reels, all can be created out of the broadcast and podcast by a virtual assistant and our AI tools, which again, join us on Friday and we'll disclose every tool we possibly use so that you have the list of the tools that we use, scaled down and most affordable. And then the third step is the automation. And what we try and do is automate the distribution of that content that's been created. So we then go ahead and schedule the emails, schedule the social media posts, so that you don't have to worry about, okay, I've got all this content. Now I'm going to take all this time to where do I put it? Well, we take care of automating, and we'll show you how to automate that process and the tools that we use to do that. So that's a 3-step that we try and always follow. The client creates the original content for a long form video. We create sub content from that of whatever content you need for the week. Then we go ahead and use automation to distribute it. All right. Bonus, you can reproduce one interview. Just I don't care if it's a business partner or an associate or a client, just get them to jump on a camera with you and have a conversation. And from that 10-minute conversation, we can create 10 to 20 content assets for you that can be used throughout the next week. Posts, emails, reels, all of it can be optimized from one single 10-minute video. Okay, so Allison, if AI and automation could handle your content loop, what would you focus on instead? And I would focus on the final step of the prospecting process is the outreach. Once automation has identified that somebody is engaging, they're asking questions, they're commenting, you can see that they viewed your videos, they opened your email. We can track that activity. And when you have somebody who's coming back and engaging over and over and over again, well, then at that point, you should be focusing all your time on the top 10 people who have engaged with your content the most. So make sure you're tracking, make sure you've implemented a scoring system, and focus on 10 people that you can phone call, text message, DM, but reach out to them and invite them to a 15-minute kind of introductory phone call. And you'd be surprised the percentage of people that you can convert from that into an actual client. And then usually it's about 30%. Good question. All right. Oh, so which part of your current process would you wish that you could hand off right away? What's the top 1 or 2 things? Pick one. What's the top number 1 activity that you wish you could hand off because it's driving you crazy having to take care of it every single week? It could be opening email, answering email. It could be following up on social media DMs, whatever it is. Put it in the chat. What's the number 1 thing that you repeat every day that drives you crazy you wish you could hand off? While you're adding your answers in the comments, here's a quick, powerful clip from Chris Harris. from the Business Lounge podcast, sharing how virtual assistants can be a game changer for scaling your business. So let's check it out.
Consider hiring a VA, which stands for a virtual assistant. This is something we have done for years. We've hired many virtual assistants, specifically in the Philippines. And the reason is this: everything I just told you up to this point, it's largely going to be you doing those efforts, right? It's you creating that long form content. It's you splintering stuff off, making micro content for social media. Here's the deal. The reason you're doing it that way, the reason you're setting up that system now, is because eventually you want to hand that system to a virtual assistant. Most of what myself and Kim does now is solely that first one. It's solely that long form content. The rest of that, we bundle it up, we put it in a Google Drive file. They take it from there. They create all of the micro content. They'll create the carousels, the reels, the posts, change it up for different platforms. They're doing all of that work on the back end, so that all we have to do is step in and give approval once a caption's been written or the content's been put together or we've overlaid text on the actual video itself.
Okay, so let's do a quick recap as we wrap up the half hour. Remember, it's a VA plus automation plus AI. That's the three elements: VA plus automation plus AI. That's your scalable content engine. And on Friday in our masterclass, which anybody is welcome to attend, I think the link is below. If not, put masterclass in the comments and we'll make sure that we reach out to you and get you the link necessary to join us, where we will give you everything you need to set this up yourself. In two, you create your long form content, your team will amplify it. Now, again, I say team, that's VAs and AI employees. The result, it will take you from reactive burnout to proactive visibility. So don't forget about the potential results. And I'm going to answer Derek's question from Chicago. Is there a GPT that can write in compliance-friendly tone out of the box? There is one that we've created that we would be happy to share with you, Derek, and we make sure that it is FINRA and SEC compliant. However, you are still required to put anything that you are going to post still needs to go through your compliance department. But we do ask it. And the great thing about ChatGPT is it has access to all of the SEC and FINRA laws and codes. And so it's very accurate being compliant. I don't think I've had one complaint about a rejection of content that's been created by our custom GPT. So great question. All right. So don't forget about the potential results. At the beginning of today's episode, I told you about Elena, who I met at the Future Proof conference, and how she jokes around that we gave her the twofer, right? That's the 2 times visibility, meaning 2 times the number of people are seeing her, even if it's just briefly, even if it's just a quick email or a quick social media post. And she's doing it in 2 times less, and she's spending 2 times less the amount of time, and that's why she called it the twofer. All right, so let's check out this next video.
This is how I automate a real estate agent's entire business. I've built out this automation that texts and emails and follows up with all of their leads and ultimately books a call straight onto their calendar. And then they can just go into their calendar and see all the appointments that have been booked for them. And then I have automated text and emails that send out to that lead to make sure that they show up to the appointment. And you can build all of it out inside of a platform called High Level.
That's right. And that's one of the platforms that we use, which there are others too, and we're going to introduce the alternatives that you can use for at least automation purposes. If you're just going to isolate it down to automations, there is a sub tool that we will introduce you to on Friday as well. Today, we just wanted to create some awareness, and then Fridays is our masterclass where we do the how-to details so that you get everything you need to be able to implement this yourself. If you'd like to learn how, well, actually, let me ask a question really quick, and then I'm going to jump to our offer for today, which I've been talking about, which is Masterclass. But which of the 3 layers, VA, automation, or AI employee, of the 3, which one seems the most appealing to you? Which one would you most be interested in? Because that's where we'll focus our energies on Friday during the Masterclass. And if you'd like to learn how to implement this strategy yourself, and get access to all of the software that we use, and get free access to all the custom GPTs that we've created to help you get started and start seeing results immediately, then you can join us Friday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Is that right? No, 8 a.m. I lied. It's Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific, that we will be doing a 1-hour masterclass on how to implement this exact process. As a bonus, we also wanted to offer you a smart team starter kit. You just have to comment starter and we will send that to you. I think there's also a link in the description, or you can ask us. We'll follow up and make sure that you get that. And that's just a quick written SOP, standard operating procedure, and how to put this together in written form. And if you are still struggling and have a specific question that you don't feel like got answered in today's episode, and you want help answering those questions so you can map out the implementation of creating your own team, you can book a 15-minute call. It's a strategy call with me at schedule15minutes.com, and I'll work with you to try and answer your questions and help you fill in the missing pieces so you can get started as soon as possible, because trust me, within weeks, you'll see you could double your visibility, because social media and email are free. Why pay for advertising when you can leverage the resources that are free and available to you that most people don't take advantage of because they don't have time? We've eliminated that problem. So take advantage of this and implement it and grow your visibility on autopilot. And remember, scaling visibility doesn't mean scaling stress. You don't need a full-time team. You need a tech-powered team. When you systemize and delegate the right way, you can amplify your reach and reclaim your time. And if you want the full how-to behind the scenes that we've covered today, make sure that you join the masterclass on Friday, 8 a.m. Pacific. And if from building your VA team plus automation plus custom GPTs, you put that stack together and you do it in a smart way, then you're going to see results very, very quickly. And again, the results of visibility and identifying those who are most engaged, and then outreach to those and focus on those specific 10 people who've expressed the most amount of engagement. So join us on Friday, again, 8 a.m. Pacific, for our live coaching session. It's where we roll up our sleeves and walk through everything step by step, giving you everything you need. Otherwise, we'll see you next week at 8:30 a.m. for a smarter systems and sharper strategies. So stay lean, stay visible, and I'll see you in the digital world.